Hey guys, a little different this video, just going to be me turning the camera on, talking about the channel. I just want to talk about the Asmongold bump a little bit. I'm extremely lucky to get that. I don't know why I got the Asmongold bump. I probably was not deserving in any way, but I will take it. I was looking at, so I have three different YouTube channels, and this year I decided, you know what, I've kind of dabbled with these channels for years and I've never really been serious about trying to ever grow them. I just put videos up here and there. And this year, I'm going to try to figure out which channel I want to try to grow and push forward and actually maybe get to that 1,000 sub threshold. Just a modest goal of 1,000 subs, which is a lot harder than it sounds. It is pretty hard, and especially the way I want to do it. I want to do it without begging for subs at the beginning of the video. I'll ask to sub at the end because the people I want to subscribe are people that actually watch the full video. First of all, because most people don't watch the full video, so I want people that are actually willing, that actually have attention spans and want to watch the whole thing. And also, I just don't want to be like everybody else and beg for subs. And there's so many of these people. I think there's a serious problem right now with so many people going all in on YouTube, going all in on what they call content creation, which I think is kind of a dumb word. I've always felt that's kind of a silly word, content creation, because when I watch a lot of these guys, especially in the gaming niche, I don't know what content they've actually created. It's just them playing a video game and talking about it. I don't know that there's any real content that has been created. I think it's silly. I think there's a kind of a bubble with the content creation crowd right now. So it's kind of hard to break through. It's really hard to break through. You almost need luck a little bit to break through. Obviously, you need everything you need to make quality videos. And my quality is probably not. It's still nowhere near where it can be. I can get higher quality. But I don't want to. I don't know. I want to be putting my spin on it, which you guys have seen my spin. I just want to act the way I act in real life because that's kind of how I am. I'm just kind of a crazy, wild guy, man. I get a little wild. I don't want to, and yes, I know when I'm talking and rambling through a script, I can be a little bit dry. So that's part of the reason I do the crazy intro and outro, and sometimes even mid-roll do something crazy. And you know what? So far, it hasn't really helped my viewer retention at all. But my channel is kind of new. The Ride Genesis channel is kind of new compared to my other channels, and so the algorithm hasn't figured out, who to send to my videos yet. So I get a lot of new traffic, and new traffic is prone to clicking away from a video pretty quickly. So we'll see. I guess once my channel matures, I guess what my retention is like. But right now, my average is people are only watching about 30% of the video, and I need to get that up to about 50% to get more in favor with the algorithm. Well, I'm going to show you my metrics later, but talking about being lucky, and I really feel like I was lucky, and I'm going to show you a guy that I think was way more deserving of the Asmongold bump in terms of Riot MMO content than I was. And let me put that on. Okay, so here, this is the Oh Hey Spun channel, and this is actually where I got the idea to do that document. And the only thing that so I saw that there was like three or four, probably like two or three really well done videos on like speculation about the Riot MMO, but nobody had really done like everything all in one, like a all in one video, and nobody had made it into like a document or a wiki or anything. So I decided to make it into a document. I put it on Reddit. It got on MMORPG subreddit, and it was very popular there. It was very popular there. And then there was people that kept messaging me on Reddit. You need to put this on Asmongold's Reddit. So I put it on there. I cross-posted it. It got quite a few upvotes. He saw it, but then he didn't watch it, which I didn't care. I don't care that much. I'm not going all in on YouTube like a lot of people are, man. There's a lot of people that have like quit their jobs and they're going all in on YouTube, and There's surveys out there where kids are saying that's the #1 job they're looking to do. It's super saturated. I know it's hard to break through, so I'm not that like concerned. And I have 2 other income streams. I'm doing fine financially. I'm not going all in on YouTube like many people are. If I get a little income from YouTube, it would be a bonus, but it's not something I'm banking on. So that's why I don't do the clickbait. I don't do the begging for subs, because to me it's not that big of a deal. Now, I like it when people sub. I like it when people leave nice comments and upvote and all that sort of thing. Which to me is kind of like the old school YouTube feel, right? Before YouTube really had much monetization involved. Like YouTubers would just create videos because they enjoyed it. And that's kind of what I want to do. Just create videos out of enjoyment, and because I like MMOs, I like Ashes of Creation. I might like the Riot MMO, and that's the other thing about this Riot MMO. People think I'm all in on this. Like, I'm actually not that interested in another copy of WoW, which is kind of what I think the Riot MMO is. But I'm keeping it on my radar because I'm not sold that Ashes of Creation will end up working out either, because I think potentially they might be going too niche with that one. So we'll see on that. But which, like I said, and I've said this in many of my videos, I like everything. Personally, I like everything about Ashes of Creation. There's very few things that I would change, but I think that actually is a problem because I tend to be more on the niche side in terms of as a player. At least I think I am, because I really like PvP and MMOs. People say if you like PvP, just go play a shooter or go play this or that. I don't enjoy shooters. I don't enjoy MOBAs. I've never enjoyed just having 3 skills. I love PvP and MMOs because of the depth of the combat and having 20 cooldowns to manage, and like I enjoy that. And there's so much complexity to PvP and MMOs in terms of the actual combat. Or MOBAs, there's complexity for sure and I've played a lot of MOBAs, but there's complexity with warding and with understanding all the skills, because there's usually a ton of different characters, and understanding all those skills and you know, you have to play quite a few different characters. There is a lot to MOBAs, but it's a different kind of complexity. And at the very surface level, they're very simplistic, whereas MMOs at the surface level are pretty complex. So they're kind of hard to learn. And that's part of the reason PvP never takes off in MMOs, is because of the complexity. The barrier to entry is very, very high in MMO PvP, but I just love it. I love MMO PvP. I like the complexity, as you know, especially the group dynamics when you start getting into group PvP. Now, when you get to a really large group PvP, it becomes less about like individual mechanics and more about the guy that's kind of calling shots for your raid. A lot of times, if it's almost like Sun Tzu type of Art of Warfare type stuff, and like doing like pincer moves and doing like just, you know, flanking and things like that. I think become more important than the actual like individual combat. Which, but of course, it's that way with PvE too. The bigger the raid, like when WoW had 40-man raids, like the individual player really had very little effect. So one guy couldn't just carry a raid or anything like that. It's the same way with that. So, anyways, I'm rambling like I always do when I do these kind of videos, but I just wanted to talk about the Asmongold bump. I'm very grateful for it. Oh Hey Spun kind of gave me the idea, and it was this video, Everything We Know. His very first video, November 2021, Everything We Know. Like, that video was incredible, and he's gotten 49K views. I'm not sure my video will catch his ever. Mine is at 8K, and I think it was at 400, which is my highest. It was my highest view count before the Asmongold bump. But then, and it's still getting like 500 a day, but it's slowing down a lot. I think the actual reaction video of Asmongold watching it, I think it's at like 500,000. So, and he did link. Yeah, he did link. Yes, it's almost at 500,000. So, and he did link my video in there. So that's interesting. So I will get perpetually a lot of views. But I don't know if I'll even ever catch Ohaspin. But his video, like his production quality, everything is so much better than mine. And if you want some recent updates, his last two videos are very good, talking about they've done a lot of tweets recently, and I don't know. I don't want to take credit for it, but to some extent, I think because Asmongold was talking about it in the document I put on Reddit, I think maybe it spurred Greg to be active again on Twitter, and they've been very active, and there's a lot of threads that are out there now. And if you want updates on these two videos, especially this one, ton of updates on the recent things that have been said. And that's the other thing with that document. People ask and tell me, well, that document must have been very hard to make. And it really wasn't that hard because I do things like that all the time with my other channels. I have two other channels. One is called Objectivum, and this is the channel. And this is what I was talking about, the creator economy bubble. I actually have a video on that. It only got 3 views. And this is the reason I kind of abandoned this channel. I put quite a few videos on there and I never got any views, hardly at all, nothing. So that's when I decided, hey, when this thing wasn't working, I'm gonna go try Ride Genesis for a while, because even my Ashes A1 videos and they were terrible. They weren't well made at all. They got way more views than anything I did on here, no matter what I did. And then this is my oldest channel. It's called Speculate Freedom, and like I said, what I was talking about with like spreadsheets and stuff, and I have a spreadsheet for like back testing that is way more complex than that Right MMO document. And I think it took months to make that document, and it's for back testing the S&P 500, and it's daily back tests, and it's a very helpful tool. And I even have videos where I get into some Python, and I've done a lot with TradingView with PineScript. So it's not like making that document wasn't hard. The hard part is going to be updating that document in the future. And there's a lot of updating I need to do already, and I last updated it like a week ago. So if anyone wants to help me update that document, I would appreciate it. But I'll try to keep it updated. As far as making like new videos on the Right MMO, I maybe once a month. I don't see a reason to do it like often, but maybe once a month. Sometime we're probably only 5-6 months from getting a big news dump on that MMO is my guess. So, and then that document will somewhat be obsolete when that happens. So, but anyways, yeah. What I wanted to say is I don't want to abandon my other channels. I still want to make content for both of those. But I am going to focus on the Ripe Genesis channel because, for obvious reasons, because I'm actually getting traction there. Like this channel, I've had this for probably 10 years. I know there's not very many videos on this because I deleted all my old videos because I thought they were just absolutely terrible. So I just deleted them. And I just don't enjoy making videos for this channel that much anymore, just because for several reasons. One, I run a Discord, and it's pretty busy in there. It's a Discord called Speculate Freedom, and it's, I talk about the markets in there plenty. I get actually kind of tired of talking about the markets. And the other thing is, the more you talk about the stock market, and the more I talk about the things that I use to trade, the less your edge becomes. So that's the thing about markets. The more people know about your strategies, the less effective they are. So, and trading is my number one income. I have a full-time job, but trading has surpassed that income in the last 3 years. So, and I've been trading for like over 10 years at this point. I'd have to go back and see. I don't remember exactly when I started anymore, but so I've kind of got it down to a science. I used to spend like 20-30 hours of research a week, and that's down to like maybe 10, sometimes less. And right now I'm not even trading that actively, so it's more like 5 a lot of weeks. But the reason I say that is because I'm busy. I'm not going to be able to devote all my time to Ripe Genesis. I'm going to try to keep up. And the thing about YouTube that I have found 100% is you have to try to keep to at least one video a week if you can. Otherwise, the algo really just kind of forgets about you. It wants active uploaders. Anyways, like I was saying, the niche of Twitch and of YouTube is super oversaturated. And I just want to give you guys just one example. Just look at the World of Warcraft section of Twitch. go to the 5 viewers or less and just start scrolling down. And there's pages after pages after pages after pages of 5, 1, or 5 down to all the way down to 0 viewers. It's just pages of them. And how do you break through that? You don't really break through it in many cases. And that's the thing. There's so many people chasing this dream right now, and it's for many people it's not a reality. And for me, it probably isn't a reality that I'll ever become like super big, but it's now a reasonable reality that because the Asmongold bump, because I got super lucky, it's a potential reality that I could actually get to 1,000 subs on YouTube, and eventually I might start streaming again because of that. Once I think I'm gonna wait to stream on Twitch again until I have 1,000 subs on YouTube, so I can break through this 1 to 5 viewer thing, which I could never really break through when I streamed. And it really depends. Like if you stream like a smaller game, you don't have to you're not stuck at the bottom of this page or whatever, but less people watch that game in general. So, like I've been playing a lot of Ascension, World of Warcraft private server, and it's, there's not very many people that stream it. And when I stream that, I would get a decent amount of viewers, but you're only going to get so many on this thing and there's nobody even streaming it right now. But it's a fun little thing, and I'm actually going to do some more content on Ascension. I actually finally found a build in the 1v1 arena, which I've always thought 1v1 arena would be fun in WoW, but you can't really do it in like retail WoW because the balance, you'd never be able to balance that. And of course they wouldn't even try, but on Ascension, it's a classless WoW where everybody can pick every skill or whatever skills they want. With obviously, you can only pick a certain amount of skills based on skill points, but that kind of makes the balance kind of work itself out a little bit. So I finally found a build that I like, and last night I think I did 20. I think I probably did like 30 arena games actually. I think I only lost 2. So I finally got a build that I like for Ascension, and I want to eventually do a video on that build. And it's a fun little thing to play until Ashes Alpha 2 comes out, which probably is not till next year. I'm going to play V Rising when it comes out. That one looks pretty good. I want to do another video as well on Pantheon, the Pantheon MMO. The more I look at that, the more interested I am in that MMO, even though it is PvE heavy and I tend to be PvP heavy. But the way they're doing it, they are doing it very niche, but it's, I don't think they need to have a mass appeal game to be successful, because it's been a very low budget thing. So I think, they don't need millions of players. But the thing that intrigues me the most about that project is that many of the devs donated their time because they ran out of funds, and they were working on this MMO for no pay for quite some time. So name an MMO that was kept alive by the devs in that manner. I can't think of one. I think it's been in development for like 10 years. They've had all sorts of problems. They ran out of money, and there's still no guarantee the thing ever releases. But it's starting to get a lot of buzz, and so hopefully that'll help them out with they'll sell some pre-order packs or whatever they're selling. The pre-orders are very expensive, and I already spent, $500 to get into Ashes, so I will not be pre-ordering it. But I will do a video probably about that, just on the whole idea of devs donating their time. I think that's pretty wild, and it kind of makes me excited about the game that they have that much passion that they would donate their time to keep it alive. And it sounds like they're hiring now. They got an influx of money, so I think they're doing pretty good. And that game might actually release, and I'm excited for it. I'm going to talk about. Yeah, I want to talk about my analytics. And talk about average view duration. So you can see some of them, this one actually had very good average view duration, at least by my standards, but 40 to 50% is kind of what I need to get this to, I think, to actually get some actual algorithm traction. So I'm working on that. And a lot of it, I'm sure, is the crazy intro and the outro and all that. and I don't want to abandon that, but a lot of my intros were just too long. So I'm kind of trying, and if you watch my latest video, which just came out, I shortened it quite a bit. So we'll see how that goes. And really, like the only reason I'm doing this, I've tried many different forms of like generating passive income on the internet because I read like way back in the day, I read the 4 Hour Work Week from Tim Ferriss. And when I read that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that, you know? And everybody thought that, right? And I think that's the guy that like started this whole passive income content creation bubble, really, because ever since then, it's like everybody's trying to do it. For a while, you had like the Amazon FBA was the thing, and people were selling courses on Amazon FBA. And like I knew several people that were trying to do it. That got so saturated so fast that it's almost impossible to break through on that. If you go on Amazon, you can see like toothbrush or like just look at anything, and there's just all these third-party labeled things that are exactly the same. They just have a different label on them, and that's this Amazon FBA bubble, and all these people trying to capitalize on that. Well, you can't. Like, and that's the thing. It's like a lot of this stuff. First mover advantage is so big, and the first mover advantage of like Asmongold when he got on Twitch and was streaming early on. He was just doing it as a passion thing. I would assume he never assumed he would make money on it, because when this first started, there wasn't much of a way to make money on Twitch. It's just people did it because they thought they enjoyed it and they got viewers and things like that. And so nobody else would stream on there because there wasn't a financial incentive. But the dudes you look at most of the people that are at the top of Twitch, they've been doing it a long time. And it's really hard to break through and get to that level now. There's a book by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers. I used to read a lot of books. I was in the military, and there would be a lot of downtime. So I would read a lot. Malcolm Gladwell, Outliers, is one of my top books of all time. Just an incredible book. And it talks about the things that it takes to become like a huge success. And obviously hard work and determination are there. And that's, you have to have that. But you also have to have timing. And timing's a big one. So look at like a lot of the big tech guys like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, was it like Larry Ellison from Oracle? I think that was his name. A bunch of dudes. They're all about the same age because they came in and they started businesses right around the time that the personal computer became popular in homes. And so breaking through 10 years later, 20 years later, much harder, much harder. So timing is huge, and luck plays a factor. Like, so I certainly got lucky recently. And so that's big. The only reason I'm even trying to break through on YouTube is because I have a son that's pretty severely autistic, and so the more income I can have, the better off I'll be in that regard. And my trading income is volatile. I've had years where I've made six figures. I've had years where I've lost six figures. Luckily, I've had more where I made six figures, but there's always in the back of my mind, like, man, am I going to have another one of those really bad years, you know? And having another income to kind of offset that. And the thing about like YouTube, this kind of income, it'd be more stable than trading would be for sure. And if I could ever get it to be even like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 just annually, it might be enough to where I could actually quit my job and I could spend more time making videos, more time with my son, more time with my family, and I could probably trade more. And maybe I don't like to day trade a whole lot. My trading is more longer term, but I could do more of that, a little bit more day trading, and just give me more time. And time is your most valuable commodity in life. So I don't have any intentions to quit my job anytime soon. I really considered quitting it this year, actually. But I had my tax bill came in way higher than I thought it would be, because even though I've traded for a long time, there was a tax rule that I wasn't aware of. that kind of hurt me big time. And so I had a huge tax bill. And so, which is probably a good thing because I really probably was not ready to quit my job. And even though, like I said, financially I'm fine. I don't have debt. I own my house. So I don't, like, financially I'm doing just fine. I probably could do it, but it just, the stability of that steady paycheck is really nice. So that, if I could eventually get some of that replaced by YouTube, wouldn't even have to be all of it, then that would maybe free me up to at least maybe even just go part time with that job, which would be nice because I've been doing that job for a long time and yeah, I'm a little burnt out from it. So I'm not gonna lie, I would like to do something different. Um, I think I covered everything. I'm looking at my notes on the other screen here. But I was gonna talk a little bit about, yeah. So I do like videos on my other channels, and the trading videos would get some decent views in the last 2 years because there's all these new day traders that popped up when everybody lost their jobs and everybody was sitting at home trading. So I'd get decent views there. But Objectivum, my channel Objectivum, the whole idea behind it was to look objectively at various topics, and because I like to look at things objectively with my trading, with my gaming. I like to look at, I'm a numbers guy. I like to make spreadsheets. I look at things objectively, not subjectively. Or I don't like to use anecdotes. People will use like a story of like, oh, my brother had this happen to him, so that means that it happens to everybody. You know what I mean? That's the kind of like logic people use a lot. They don't like to look at the statistics of things, whereas I like to look at the statistics of things. And that was the whole idea behind Objectivum, is to look objectively at various topics that a lot of people talk about. Some of them political, some of them other things like the content creator thing, and actually kind of just put forth the quantitative factual data and let people then analyze it themselves. That was the whole idea behind Objectivum. But people, what I have found is like people don't care about the real life, about real life. I think like people are so burnt out from the corruption, like the corporate greed and the government that's completely messed up, and the bad things that are going on. And I did another video on Objectivum as well, about like empirically things are better now than they've ever been, for people, for humans. Like lifespans are the longest. Healthcare really is the best it's ever been, even though it's crazy expensive in the U.S. Um, Poverty rates are the lowest they've ever been. Warfare is actually the lowest it's ever been. Now, not now because we just had a war break out, but prior to the Ukraine thing breaking out, some of the lowest levels of warfare we'd ever seen, certainly in modern history. Like, we look at technology and the things that's done. Like, in many ways, like, humanity is better now than it's ever been. Yet, depression and suicide and things like that are at like some of the highest levels they've ever been. And I have some videos on that as well on Objectivum. And it's like, because I had a event that caused some pretty bad PTSD for me, and I've had depression and things like that, and I still struggle with it quite a bit. So it's kind of near and dear to my heart, and so that's kind of why I'm not going to abandon that channel, because I still want to talk about a lot of things on that channel. But I'm kind of plugging that channel and my Speculate Freedom channel a little bit, because I'm still going to be over there working on things. But I'm going to focus on Rap Genesis because, like I said, people don't seem to care about real life. People want to escape from real life. And like gaming videos just get so much more views. There's so many more people searching for gaming content. The problem with it is the click-through rate, or this, I think they call it CPM, which is, so for each view you get a lot less per view from the advertisers than you do for a lot of other niches. So it's a niche and it's saturated. There's so many people making gaming videos, but I'm actually getting traction on this channel, and I enjoy gaming. I'm a MMO guy. I love MMOs. I feel like I have some things I can add. I have things I can do differently and hopefully maybe better than some other people. And that's kind of what I'm doing. So, geez, I've talked. How long have I talked for? It's almost at 30 minutes now. So let me talk for another 10 seconds to get this thing at 30 minutes. 4 seconds. I'll see you guys in the next video. I think I'm going to do the Pantheon video next. And I don't know. I assume this video's retention is going to be about 10% on average because I rambled and I was all over the place on this video. But hopefully a few of you have watched the whole thing. And we'll see in that Pantheon video. It might be several days before I get that one done. I have a lot of stuff I need to get done around the house this weekend. And of course, I got to get some arena games in on Ascension. So I got priorities. So, but I'll see you guys in the next one. We'll see you.